welcome to a video. This is going to be a glorified WIP parade, but more importantly, it's going to be my Ditch the Stitch WIP parade, because the goal is to, one, not only show you all of my current WIPs, which I believe I'm around like 44 or 45, but to possibly get rid of some, fall back in love with some. Let's just jump into it. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been around with me for a very long time, welcome back. Let's just dive in. This is going to be a long video, so saddle up, get a snack, get a water, because you might need to get hydrated after this. Okay, so there's just so many piles sitting around me. Potter is in the room, so he may be scurrying about making noises throughout this video. I will only shush him if I feel like I need to shush him. But let's just dive in. We're going to start with my 3 WIPs that have just been literally living on my coffee table in a hoop, just living exposed, not in a bag, not in anything. Because I've been actively like switching between them for the last few weeks, and the goal, at least 2 of them, is to finish them up this week, so we'll see how that goes. So the first one is Bitter Brew. This is by Hands On Design, and I am stitching this on a 32 count Lugana by Fabric Flare. So this is like a printed fabric. Printed fabric. I don't know what else to say about that. It has little bats on it, but this is the 3rd out of 9 for me, and I am trying to get this one finished to knock off a WIP, but then I am going to be putting down this series because I know there's no way I'm going to finish the other 6 before Halloween and get it FFO'd into the way that I want to FFO this series for this year. There's some things coming up, so I want to get this one done and then put down the series for a little bit, but this is where I'm at with Bitter Brew. So this one's obviously not going anywhere. My goal is to try and get this one done maybe today or tomorrow morning would be nice, but we'll see. The next one I recently started, and this is a Silver Creek sampler, When Life Is Done. It came out at Nashville 2019, and I am stitching this on a dyed panda fabric, which I am the dyed panda, FYI. If you are new here, I am the dyed panda. I used to dye fabric and sell it, and then I dyed custom fabrics for people. So basically I would get commissioned to make specialty like dyed fabrics, and one of my favorite ones that I ever did was for Vicky, for Darth Vader and I believe the Death Star. I'm not that into Star Wars or Star Trek for that matter, so I know it was Darth Vader, I believe it was a Death Star, but she wanted this kind of like exploding star galaxy vibe to be behind the stitching, and so it was really cool to commission that with her. So I still sometimes do things like that if somebody messages me, reaches out to me, but I do dye my own fabrics for things. And this is one that turned out really crazy cool, and I honestly don't remember the method that I used. I want to say that it was ice dyed, but I could totally be wrong. I do several different weird methods whenever I'm dyeing fabric, but this is Silver Creek Samplers, When Life Is Done. Also, if you haven't been here for the many moons that I've been on YouTube, this is an in memoriam piece, and this month will be 12 years since my mom died, but also it's like the 13th year of whenever all the craziness started. So 13 years ago, starting from November 2006 to March 2008, I lost 18 people in my life, friends and family. So it was just a very crazy time. Most of them were family. So this is kind of not for one particular in memoriam. This is just gonna be for and always in memoriam. I mean, it's more for my mom probably than anybody, but this is kind of for everybody that I've ever lost, because that's a really big hit in life. So anyways, this is an 18 count. I dyed this and I named the fabric Arabian Sun. So I'm really excited to get back to this. My goal is to have this done this month. I don't know if that'll happen or not, but I am going to be working on this throughout the month of September, and I will probably keep on working on it until it is finished. But the goal is to have this done at least by the end of the year. Goal is September, but again, I have some really cool stuff coming up in the next few weeks, so it may not get the attention that I want to give it in the month of September. So it's going to get the love in the year 2019, I will say that. The next one that I would love to finish in this next week is the giant cat. No, I'm kidding. This is Gone Batty by Brenda Gervais, better known as With Thy Needle and Thread. This is on a 32 count Picture This Plus in Cauldron. I did change the cat to be my cat Potter, and I did change half of the flowers to be purple instead of all orange flowers. We are selling this. And so if you want to see who all is selling this, and everybody's doing it on different fabrics, or they're making color changes, and they're so fabulous. Nikki's is on a beautiful pink fabric. Dee Dee's she's doing hers on the Called For Kermit, but she changed the flowers to blue flowers. Just go check out the hashtag Gone Batty with K.A. Sal, and if you're stitching this, use the hashtag if you would like. We would love to have more people join us, but yeah, I love this pattern. It's been a lot of fun. The cat is huge. It's a little discouraging, but this is my goal for the week. A lot of white. All right, let's get into things in bags, shall we? My Lanta. I think I'm going to start with the ones down on the floor beside me, because then I can stack other bags on top of them. So that sounds like a great idea. Okay, so in this first one, I don't remember who this bag is from. I want to say this is from A Needle Runs Through, but it's a Gilmore Girl bag. So that's all that matters, honestly. Okay, in this bag is my Lizzie Kate Gone Green series. I am stitching this on an 18 count piece of Ancient by Pictures Plus. I am changing so many of the colors. It's ridiculous, but I started this around Arbor Day this last year, and I really need to get it back out. But this probably will be like a spring stitch, honestly. But I'm changing a lot of the colors and customizing it. I still really like this piece and would love to have it finished. But I'm just not feeling it for the fall Christmas season, you know what I mean? So that will probably not come back out until 2020, but it will come back out. Okay. I love being in a rolly chair because it's easy for me to maneuver. So this is an H. Cat's Crafts bag, and this is a Doctor Who bag, all the way up through 12. So it's all the way up through 12. Okay. This is what I have all of my Satsuma Street Pretty Little Cities. Hi. That's a lot of paper, but I own every single Pretty Little City by Satsuma Street, and I plan on eventually stitching them all on the same fabric, which is a 16 count confetti Picture This Plus in, I just lost my train of thought. Oh, it's confetti. It's crystal confetti. Okay. I don't know what's happening. I did finish last year Pretty Little Hawaii. These were my first two Pretty Little Cities, and I don't know why I haven't finished these yet, but I do still really love them. And like I said, I want to do the entire series, and I have a really cool way that I want to finish them that I kind of like mapped out in my head with Savannah. So thank you, Savannah. But I kind of want to finish each one as like a book, kind of like a flip book. So I want to have like a ribbon with like grommets, and kind of make like a plush book, And on the back of each location, either, I mean, because they're either cities or they're countries. So if it's a country, I want to write when I went and where I went in the country. And if it's a city, I want to write when I went and also who with and all that kind of stuff. If I've been there, so then it can also be like a little travel log, which I think is just fun. But here's Pretty Little Italy, which I really need to get back out and finish because I absolutely love this one. And then Pretty Little DC, which again, I just need to get back out. I just need to get these back out, is honestly what it is. That's just a true statement of life. All right, the final one down on the floor is in an Emily C bag. This one she made for me as a gift. She saw this panda fabric and thought of me and made me this sweet, sweet bag. This was one of the sweetest things I've ever received in the mail, I'm not gonna lie. And I absolutely adore it. And I had already purchased this pattern, but I started it because Emily inspired me to start it. Go ahead and just start it. But I had already bought it, but it's big. It's big. It's really big. Like, I have some big ones. This one's big. Hers is now done and framed, and it is gorgeous. So eventually I will get this back out. I really do want to work on it. But this is my Barbara Anna, All Creatures Great and Small. And this is on an 18 count that I dyed myself, with like tan and blues. And it's just kind of, it's like a weird color. It's blue, but it's also kind of like dingy because I think there's also gray in here. I'm not really sure, but it's gonna be a big girl. I'll say that. She gonna be big. And she takes up so much of this bag. It's crazy. I'm like permanently making this bag just massive. Okay, I have all the things around me. These are going back here because that's where they apparently seem to live. Okay, where to start now? There's just so much everywhere. It's a lot. Okay. I'll go with this one. So this is another one that I'm trying to get off of my WIP list. And I have one color left. I really wanted to get a lot of progress on this the other weekend whenever I went out of town, but there was just no way I could stitch on this in the truck. It's just too, but I have one color left. And so I'm working on the light cream color, and it's basically in all the spots that don't have stitching yet. So there's still quite a bit left, but not as much as like you would think. But I have a lot left. I have the two bigger banners to finish, and then these like little areas down here. So it's, in retrospect, it's not a whole lot, but it feels like a whole lot. But I've been like taking this to like lunch on and off and stuff like that and just working on it when I can. So this, I'm hoping, will be done soon as well. It is so close to a finish. So close to a finish. Okay. My oldest WIP, 2014. Okay. This, I do not want to get rid of the pattern. So back in 2014, the only place, the only way that you could get to the Hogwarts crest was through a kit. And I didn't want to get the kit. The kit was really expensive on Etsy. It was in British pound, and in 2014, the US dollar conversion was even, like, it was really bad compared to where it is now. It's not great right now, but it was really bad. And it was going to be a lot of money, and I was really fortunate that Davina had just finished it, and she sent me the pattern because she got the kit, because again, back then I feel like that was the only way that you could get it, 2013, 2014. So she sent me the kit for the Harry Potter crest, or not the kit, she sent me the pattern, and I kitted it up myself because I wanted to do it on like, I wanted to kit it up myself. And I wanted to pay for the pattern, but we ended up doing like a really fun like gift exchange type thing instead, and sent each other some different things that was hard for the other person to get. So it was a lot of fun. But I fully kitted it up in the called for colors, and I could have taken the opportunity to do this on really cool fabric, but in 2014 I had no idea that that was a thing. So I just did it on just regular, just Aida, and this is probably a 16 count, either 14 or 16, but I will say I don't like this fabric. If I were to dye this, I would probably like it more. And I may pick out those stitches and then use this fabric to dye to restart this, because I just don't know when I want to restart it. But I'm not getting rid of the pattern. I do eventually want to do the Hogwarts crest. I just definitely don't want to do it on this fabric. So I am going to put away all the threads, and I am going to put the pattern back in my pattern stash. And yeah, I might pick out the threads on that fabric and dye it for stitching the crest again on it, or I may pick a piece of fabric out of my stash to do that. So I'm not really sure yet, but I don't know when I'm going to restart that, but that one is definitely getting ditched. Okay, what is next? Okay, in this one is my map sal. So I have yet to show this outside of a maps video. So the next one hasn't come out yet, so you're going to get a little sneakity peekity of how far I am. I need to work on this probably this weekend before the next part comes out. But this is where my map is. So that's a little sneak peek of the map sal with the Ink Circles group. So that's where I'm at. I really like it. This is not going anywhere. This is an active sal. It's so much fun. And if you want to see like how to like do the sal and whatnot, I am making special map sal videos that kind of like highlight the entire process, because it's a process. It's a lot of fun, but it is a process. Okay, what is inside of you? I don't know if anything is inside of this one. Oh, this is another HK Crafts bag. She doesn't make bags anymore, but she used to make a lot of bags in like 2014, 2015. And she hasn't been active on Instagram or her website since 2017, so I don't know if or when she is gonna come back. This is another Emily C bag. This bag is so cute. The little eyes and whiskers light up, they glow. This has my Beatles patterns, and the fabric and all the threads for the Blackbird Designs Beatles. None of them are WIPs, so I'm not going to get into this, but for my birthday in October, using hashtag KABBSal, which stands for Birthday Bash and Blackbird, Octopus Garden is going to be one of the patterns that I stitch. So if you would like to stitch Octopus Garden in October with me for my birthday, use that hashtag at any time in October, because my birthday is at the end of the month. So I'm going to be stitching on 2 Blackbird patterns for the month of October. Octopus Garden is one of them. If you don't want to do Octopus Garden or the other one that I am stitching on, do any Blackbird pattern. So that's why it's KABBSal for Birthday Bash / Blackbird. That's just, I don't know, I thought it would be fun. That's what we're gonna do. Okay, this next one, this one is not gonna go anywhere. This is on a, I think it's 16 count. Yes, it's 16 count Pictures Plus Sand. And this is Quilting Bee. I actually got a fair amount of this done whenever I first started this summer, back in July. And this is another one that is not going anywhere, but I also probably won't get it out until the first of the year, whenever it's like becoming more of like a spring. because I'm feeling certain stitches, you know what I mean, as we get into fall and Christmas. So this is more of like a spring stitch, so this will come out closer to spring, but that is not going anywhere. Oh my gosh, I just see things falling, just falling. Okay, this is one that I'm somewhat on the fence about, and the only reason why I think I'm going to keep it is because it's not that difficult of a stitch. I just don't like the fabric. But it was a kit. It was a kit that came with the 40 count navy bean and all the Belle Soie silks. This is Tannenbaum by Pictures Plus. This was given to me by one of my Quilt Guild friends. She found it fully kitted, gave it to me. I have most of one of the trees done. I've like, I don't know. I have like a third of one of the trees done. In my opinion, and again, my opinion, silks are overrated. I'm sorry, but in my opinion, I think they are. If you're doing specialty stitches, I totally get it. But to just do X's, it's overrated. I'm just saying, it is. But this is a kind of like a minimalistic Christmas pattern. There's 3 trees and some words. So that's why I'm not going to get rid of this one. I'm just going to suck it up and stitch it because it is really cute. I really do like it. It was fully kitted, and so I'm just gonna do it. So this will probably come out closer to Christmas time, maybe around like Thanksgiving or something into December. But yeah, I'm gonna keep that one, and I'm just gonna plug through. It's gonna happen. Okay, the next one is a Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. This is the Fruit of the Month Club, and I am stitching this. I am making a few tweaks, like my little apples. I made the little slice a green apple instead of also a red apple, just because I thought that would be really cute. I'm not doing the little like banners with the month names in them. Instead, I'm doing the fruit names in Italian. And this is gonna go in my kitchen. So I was missing some of the colors, so I went and I got them like a long while ago, and I just need to get back to this. I think what I'm going to do, because I would like to see this done, is make this a sal for myself, and at least once a month in 2020 I'm gonna stitch one of the blocks, because this was originally a year-long sal, which every month you got the next fruit. So I'm just gonna have to do that to myself. And I already have 2 finished, so that means I should have it done before the end of the year, possibly a little bit sooner, because I mean, if you really get into it, you're gonna probably start the next one. But that one's not going anywhere. I really, really do like that one. This is another one that is not going anywhere. I am making some changes on this, and I am doing the green conversion, but this is my Lady of the Flag. Oh, I forgot to say what this is being stitched on. I can't remember, but it is 18 count, but I don't remember the name of the color of the fabric, but it is a Pictureless Plus. Honestly, I don't remember the name of the fabric. My Lady of the Flag is on Pictureless Plus Heroic, because I was doing the green conversion. I wanted the reds and blues in there to like make the flag pop even more and just make her pop even more. I'm changing her hair color to brown, and I'm changing the roses to yellow for Texas. And I don't know if I'm changing anything about the flowers on the bottom where it says Liberty. I'm not really sure. But I really like this. I think I got a lot of really good progress last year whenever I first started her on 9/11, or like right around 9/11. I really just need to get her back out. I think it's just gorgeous. I need to get it back out. I mean, that's a lot of green threads, guys. Okay. The next one, this is on a 16 count Pictures Plus Fathom. This is Barbara Anna's Black Cat Hollow. I started with the middle section, and I did change one of the cats to a white cat, so sue me. The other one will be black, it's fine. I am doing a lot of color changes and changing up a lot of things, but I really, really do like this piece, and I need to get it back out. So maybe this October, I might get this one back out a little bit and stitch on it. Not really sure. It's really super cute. I really like it. It's not going anywhere. Okay, this is another one that I started right after Nashville releases, because this was a Nashville release for this year. This is Michelle Ink's Quaker Gone Haunted. I absolutely love this. This is on a 32 count Lugana by Pictureless Plus in Truffle. So it is a pink fabric with creepiness on it. I just think there's something really pretty about mixing really creepy with like beauty. And so I picked like a really feminine pink fabric to stitch like creepy like babies and like tombstone things on it. I don't know, for some reason I think that adds to the creepiness. But I really love this piece, and I do need to get it back out. It's fantastic. It's a great piece. It's a great one. I need to get this one back out and work on it. Maybe I'll make a pile of all my like possible Halloween stitches. Okay, another one that isn't going anywhere, but I also haven't stitched on it in a while. This is on an 18 count piece of Murky from Pictureless Plus, and this is Bygone Stitches, One Nation. I'm using custom colors that I picked out. Very pretty. Crab cakes, angel hair, navy, and what is the red, white, and blue one called? Old Flag or something? Old Glory. So I'm using Old Glory for the stars, crab cakes for the red worded state. So navy by Weeks for the rest of this part, and then the other for the white stripes in the flag states, they're gonna be in angel hair. So I wanted it to look really like old, rusty and crusty and decrepit, and Murky was the perfect fabric for that. Okie doke. This one, I just need to suck it up and get it done. I am almost done with this. I literally have that much left. Just these little grapes. It's hard to read. There's a lot of half stitches, quarter stitches, and outlining. So the pattern is really hard to read right there. I know it can be done. I've seen other people finish it. I just need to suck it up and do it. I'm stitching this for my cousin. I didn't do the border all the way around the piece, but I stitched her the beer one a couple years ago, like 2 years ago, I think. And so I was stitching her the wine one because she's more of a wino. Her fiance is more of a beer connoisseur. Well, they're both beer connoisseurs, but she's definitely the wino. And so I wanted to make her the pear, which is why I didn't want to do a frame because the other one doesn't have a frame. So I just need to finish the grapes, but there's so many like quarter stitches and stuff. But I just need to suck it up. I need to suck it up. I need to finish it. And so that way I can give this to her. I don't think it would take me very long, other than I have to concentrate more than what I enjoy concentrating on a stitch in the evening whenever I get home from work. But honestly, I need to put this in my rotation just to get it finished. So we'll think about that. But that's not going anywhere because it's so close to being done, and I really do want to give it to her as a gift, as much as I don't want to finish stitching it. But I'm going to, because that's what you do. The next one that is not going anywhere. I'm not doing very good at getting rid of things, am I? Dang it. Anyways, this is on an 18 count piece of Aida that I dyed, like this tan color. And then I took like a cranberry wine boysenberry type color, and I actually used a wine glass and made wine rings and little wine spilly stains. Like if you're like sloshing around the wine, I made little stains. So this is for, and I don't have a working copy of this, which is my first problem with this piece. But also I'm oh, I'm just gonna show you. This is how many colors are in this stitch. And this is how many I have pulled. Like 7 out of that list. Anyways, this is Soda Stitch's Pasta Time. I thought it would look really cool on like wine stained fabric. I'm not adding these corner pieces, and I don't think I'm adding the frill down here. I think I might just do the dotted line and then move the pasta up. I don't really know. I think that was my initial intention, so we'll see what happens, but I don't want to get rid of this one. I actually really do like it, and honestly, part of the reason why I really like it is the fabric. I think it's going to look really cool on that whenever it's done. But I was rocking and rolling on this. Like, I don't think I worked on this for too long, but I didn't have access to most of the colors, clearly. I also need to make a working copy, because if you've ever worked on a Soda Stitch, they're really easy to read patterns, but if you're a highlighter person, you really need a working copy. But these really big fold out things, they're hard to make working copies of them. So it's just sometimes like a nightmare, which is why honestly you see a lot of people do Soda Stitches like one thing at a time. But I don't know, I'm gonna have to figure out how to make myself a working copy and also find all the threads, because this one's really cute. I really do want to stitch that one. I think it's adorable. I'm Italian, so all the pasta on it is just really fun for me. But yeah, this is the other reason why I try not to have the original in my bags. This is why. Because especially with this like big one, and I don't have a working copy, I've been like, I used it like this, like on my table, and was like, oh, okay. But honestly, like if I like lay the bag somewhere that Potter can get to, he lays on it. He doesn't ruin it, he just crumples it. So I'm sorry sometimes if you get a pattern from me, it may have been crumpled by my cat a little bit. Who knows? This is a newer start. This is Plum Street Samplers Heaven Gave Rain. I am stitching this on Pictures Plus 32 count Lugana in Memory, which is a 2019 fabric. Oh, that reminds me. My map Sal is on Heartland. I don't have a brain. So I did start her. I made a lot of color changes. But I did start my little lady, and I'm doing her skin 1/1. I think she looks fantastic. I need to get this one back out. I left it in the hoop to encourage me to work on it again. I'll probably work on this in the month of like November, I'm thinking, because for me, it's kind of like, I don't know. I think it's more of like a wintry stitch, which sounds really weird. Probably, if you know the pattern. It sounds probably really weird. Okay. The next one's not going anywhere. I honestly just need to work on it a little bit at a time, because this one is massive. This is an Emma Congdon or a Stitch Rovia, so all I have is the PDF printout of this, because I think that's the only way that you can get the pattern. But this is on a Picture This Count piece of Moon Glow that I over-dyed again with coffee and tea to make it super, super gross and grungy looking. because I wanted it to be on a yellow because that's honestly the only thread color that is not in this pattern. But it's all these like little symbols of London. And so I put the year 2004 there because that's whenever me and my parents went on vacation. And so I just need to work on this like a little, I don't know. I just need to make it a goal that like once a week or something I work on like one thing at a time. Let me see if I have the cover page so I can show you what I mean. I know I do. I just don't know where it is. Okay, so this is the cover sheet. So I just need to work on like one little thing at a time, like one a month or like one every other week or something, and just slowly knock it out because it's just massive. But I do want it in my London room. One of my guest rooms is all like London-y themed British things. So I want it for that. The next one is a Wild Violet design, and this is the Stitcher Tarot cards. I'm trying to think of which way is up. Okay. This is the Stitcher Tarot cards. I'm not going to stitch them as a little book, but I had this leftover fabric from my Michael Powell. This is Barbarelle Creations on Etsy. This is the Crystal Rainbow. And I believe this is the 36 count. And I'm just doing it in DMC black. But it's 3 little tarot cards by Wild Violet Designs. And they're really cute. And they would honestly be easy to just take to work and just stitch them. Okay. So I just need to do that because it's a single color. I don't understand why I put things like that down. So that may get put in my rotation for my lunch stitch because it would be an easy, like, mindless thing. It's just all one color. Not a whole lot to worry about. This is another Emma Congdon. This is from a Cross Stitcher magazine. Most of her patterns, they either go straight to her Etsy or they go in a magazine. And I've talked to her about it before, and with most of the magazines, she gets the rights back to them 6 months later, and majority of the time she adds them then to her Etsy. So if you missed it in the magazine or whatever, usually you can buy them like on her bigger pieces. This is one that she's never added up to her Etsy. So I don't know if maybe she got bad feedback about it or she didn't really, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. But this one has never gone on her Etsy. But basically, Emma Congdon or Stitchrovia is known for typography. And it's basically a sewing machine silhouette, but made up of words. It's really cool. So I really need to get this one back out too. This is on Picture This Plus, 14 count Baroque. And I just love this fabric. I picked this fabric out specifically for this pattern. I just really like it. I got a lot of flack whenever I picked this fabric out for this pattern back whenever I started it. I believe in 2015, possibly 2016. A lot of my friends and a lot of people reacted by telling me that this fabric was hideous and that it wasn't going to look good. And honestly, I love it. Personally, I love it, and that's all that matters. But I think this is a really, really cool fabric. I think it's an underrated Picture This Plus fabric, to be quite honest. So I'm still happy about the decision. I'm pretty sure this was in 2015 because that's about the time that I found out about Picture This Plus. And I think that was the first year that I made a Christmas in July purchase. Which they brought back this year. They did it a little bit differently, but they did bring it back this year, which was really, really cool. I'm just putting, so we emptied out one bucket, so I'm just putting the ones that I'm keeping, which was pretty much everything, back in this bucket. Well, not everything, but most of it. Okay, because there is a few that I want to take into the living room to make sure that they get put into like the lunch rotation or what have you. So I am going to be putting the wine and the tarot cards in my take into the living room pile, because those are going to go into my lunch rotation, I think. Because again, I think they would be easy to finish if I just gave them the time. So that's just what I need to do. Okay. Let's do this one. Okay, so I still really love these patterns and I am gonna do them, but here's the deal. And I don't mind showing you this. I don't mind showing you this one because this was a freebie on her website for the series. But this is the Noah's Ark series, and I don't think I like my colors that I picked. Or, okay, let me rephrase. I think I like the colors that I picked. I don't like this fabric. Let me rephrase again. I do like the fabric, not for this project. There we go. I have kind of like a vibe that I want to go for this project. And so that means that I need to restart it again. If you can see, I've restarted it twice. I tried it over one because I was gonna try to make all of them fit on here, and then I did it over two because I was like, oh, maybe I'll just do the welcome mat in a different color. And I just don't like the colors on it. So I do want to do this series, and I am going to do this series, but I'm gonna put these colors away, and I don't know if I'm gonna pick this out or not, or if I'm just gonna chop off the little top half of this fabric, because I do like the fabric. I dyed this myself for some of the chalk series, and then I just never did them, but I started one. So I have starts on both ends of the fabric, so I might just chop the ends off and then save this for like the perfect piece. But it's because it is a nice like chalkboardy gray. But I'm gonna put the threads away and re-put the patterns back in my pattern box until I figure out exactly which fabrics I want to stitch these on. Because I have kind of like, and she said that she's gonna do more of them, which I haven't seen come out yet. So I don't know if she really is or isn't. But I had this idea. I was gonna say I had the brilliant idea. I don't know if it's brilliant or not, but I had the idea of doing land animals on like a tan color and water animals on a blue fabric. So I definitely want to restart that, but I do love those patterns and I will stitch them at some point. I will stitch them at some point. Okay. All right, let's talk about this one. This is Needles Dance. I have the kit for this. I love the color of the fabric, but I kind of feel like everybody else about this kit. I hate the fabric. I love the color. I hate the fabric. Hate's a really strong word, but I hate this fabric. It's really rough. It's really stiff. I haven't gotten very far in it because I just don't like stitching on it at all. So I think I'm gonna pick my own fabric for this to do this pattern, which I think will be better, but I have the whole kit. I have the whole kit for this. I really do. I like this fabric color. I hate the fabric. So I probably am going to be pulling the stitches out of this. I don't know what I'm going to do with this fabric. And I'm going to be restarting this on better fabric. That's subjective because that's my opinion, but better fabric. Okay, this is another Emily bag. This is my Bones bag. And that is just a pattern, and that's just a pattern and a slightly kitted up pattern that I want to start at some point in my life. There you go. We'll get into those in a minute. He is just a kit. He is not a WIP, so you do not matter. Okay, we'll do a twofer. So this is honestly, I don't know where my fabric tag is in this bag. I thought I saw it in here, but then I don't know what happened to it. I don't know. This is a 32 count Lugana by Pictureless Plus, but honestly, I can't remember the name of the fabric. Arctic, maybe? No, it's too green blue. I don't remember the name of the fabric. But this is my Lizzie Kate Christmas rules. I know, I got so far in that last year. This will probably be coming out again at Christmas. And then I did get decent with Halloween rules. So again, this is another one that I might want to get out in the month of October, or maybe even like in like November, because I know I'm not going to get it done before Halloween. Because like I said, I have some blackbirds that I want to absolutely get done. And then some other things that are exciting that I can't fully talk about yet. But anyways, I don't know. I need to pull this back out and work on it, but I would love to have both of these done for next year. So we'll see how that goes. I think in this bin, I'm going to move all of the Halloween stuff that I want to possibly work on to the front of the bin, so that way they are easier to find. I think that's a smart idea. Maybe. As I'm sitting here, organized with Kelly. Okay, I have so many that I just want to work on. This is making me love everything again, which is the idea of this. But also, there's not enough time. Okay, this is an older WIP, and I just ordered the final piece of fabric to do all 5 of the patterns. So 3 of the patterns I'm making into a sampler on Pictureless Plus Huntress. 1 of the patterns I'm doing on Pictureless Plus Mystic. And the final pattern I bought Pictureless Plus Herald. It's a green. It's a dark green color. But this is by the Little Stitcher, and it's all 5 of her bee patterns. So it's bee patterns, and they all have this look and vibe to them, and all the same colors. All 5 of the patterns have the same colors. So this is the one that I'm making into a sampler. So I'm combining 3 patterns in one to make a little sampler. And this pattern in particular is Melissa the Beekeeper. Oh, Melissa the Beekeepers. And there's one more girl that goes over here, and then these like borders. So there's one more girl holding a daisy, and then there's 3 more bees, 2 more bees, 3 more bees, 3 more bees. And then there's 2 more parts that go on this, and oh my gosh, and then 2 more patterns after that on 2 other pieces of fabric. So I'm excited to work on this one again. I really need to get this one out. I haven't given it love in so long, but every time I work on this and I work on these colors, oh, they give life. They're so beautiful. This does not do it justice. But I did just order the last piece of fabric for it. So hopefully I like the coloring of that fabric, so that way this spring I can enjoy that stitch. This is another one that for Halloween I should probably work on it at least a little bit. It doesn't have to be Halloween to work on this one. I love this piece. But this is on a 40 count fabric because Tiffany talked me into buying it and trying it, and I absolutely hate it. But I do love the look of it for this piece. And this is the Cricut Collections, the Master and the Macabre, and I'm making all the color changes in the entire flipping world. So this is where I'm at so far. This is right below the inkwell, and so that's like the spilled ink, and then this is the start of his house. Creepy, spooky colors. I love it. I do love the look of this. I hate stitching on this fabric, but it is what it is. This will be a slowly but surely we'll get you done and worked on type of project. But again, it's another one that I should probably just suck it up and get out because it is gorgeous. A gorgeous. I'm moving it with the other Halloween ones that I want to work on. I don't know if those are all going to get worked on, but I want to. Okay. This is going to be one that goes away. Sadly, I really, really love this pattern. This is another Emma Congdon Stitch Rovia from Etsy. I love this pattern so much. It speaks to my heart. It's like 1960s, 70s vibes. I absolutely love it. I have like a tea corner in my kitchen, or actually, I have like a whole tea station now because I got rid of my microwave and I made it a tea station. And this I thought would look really perfect, but it's just gonna be way too big. I hate the fabric. Perhaps, I mean, it's a digital copy. I own it. It is what it is. So perhaps one day I'll restart this on different I don't know why I did this on white fabric. I honestly don't know why I did. I changed up all the colors to things that I thought would look better in my kitchen and that I would like more. And quite frankly, I just don't like the way the colors are playing. Like, even though this wouldn't match my kitchen at all, I like the coloring of this better, and I never should have changed it. And I should have done it on crazier fabric. But I did get a fair amount done. I don't know, perhaps one day I will restart this, but this was just on white Aida, and I'm just not in love with it. I'm in love with the pattern, and I love the original colors. I tried to be different. I tried to change it up a little bit, and I hate the fabric selection, which it's just an Aida that like what I normally like dye from like the craft store. But I should have dyed it. I should have done something, or I should have done it on cooler fabric. I don't know. I should have done something is what basically the moral of the story is. I'm not in love with it. I don't like it. It's a digital copy. I own it for life. So possibly it'll get restarted. Don't know, but there is that choice, that option, but this one is going, away. Goodbye. All right, what is next? Oh my gosh, there's still so many. Jesus Cristo. Oh my, there's still so many. Like, this is just overwhelming. This is so overwhelming. Okay, this one's not going anywhere. I am stitching this with Emily C. And I love this piece so much. I need to get this one back. This is another like Halloween one that I really think I might pull out this year. I know that I keep on saying that, but this is a primitive hair. This is the Witches of Salem. This is how far I am. Emily started with the top, which I'm kind of jealous that she did because she's getting like the big chunks of color done out of the way. But I started on the side, kind of in the middle. And I did it for a reason. I did it because this fabric is like I bought this from, where did I get this fabric? What fabric are you? I got this from 3 Stitches. It's a Days Gone By hand-dyed Belfast, 32 count. And I didn't notice because it was in a bag or something. I don't know. But like part of it is not dyed as much as the other side. So, I don't know. I did it for a reason. But I did it because the lady is going to be over here. So she's going to kind of take some of that up. So it's not going to be as noticeable that like it's heavily modeled and then not heavily modeled. So, I don't know, but I really love this stitch. I really need to work on this. It's a really nice stitch. It's just a really, really nice stitch. And I also love how it includes, the guys' names, because a lot of the Witches of Salem patterns, they only really talk about the women. And there were men. There were men who also, it's a dark time in America's history, isn't it? One of many. But yeah, I feel like I really loved this pattern. I was drawn to it. because it touched on not only the women, but also the men. I feel like they kind of don't get talked about as much. But there were some men who were hanged for standing by their wives or their family members, or they were stoned to death. It's just crazy. So anyways, I feel like a lot of patterns don't touch on the gentlemen who got killed as well. And so I really like that one, that it included them. And it's just, I don't know, there's just something so beautiful and simplistic about it, like as an memoriam to them. Anyways, I don't know. Sappy sap, it's fine. Okay, this one, God, I love this one too. I have not given this one love in forever, and that's because it's so full coverage. I gave it some love at the beginning of the year, but this is Busby Designs, The Plague Doctor. A lot of people started this, and I love it. I really do. I love this. Savannah recently started it, and she is like knocking it out. Like, she is knocking it out. But I think she's also only doing the black, which there's no shame in that. I think it looks beautiful with just the black done. I don't know if she's going back and doing the other colors. I haven't asked her. But she is. She's knocking this out of the ballpark. I need to get this back out. He is just so really cool and creepy. This is, I believe, it's either a 14 or a 16 count that I dyed myself. Again, possibly an ice dye. Not really sure. I got a little, you know, there's that. But I think it adds to the creepiness. But perfect fabric for this. I love it. I need to get back to it. My like Halloween little pile of things that I would like to work on also this year, possibly, if at all, is growing. I don't know if that's good or bad. Okay, this one is my Barbara Anna New World, and I am stitching this on 18 count Fabrics by LJ's Mermaid's Playground. It is crazy fabric for a primitive stitch, and I love it. I need to get this back out. I have half of part 3 or world 3 done, which is the forest world, and I started world 4. Now, I was originally going to change a lot of the colors in the entire piece because of the fabric, but then I started stitching with the called for colors, and I loved it. So I haven't actually changed any of the colors, but I have changed some of the colors in the houses because I liked certain colors with others more than others. I don't know. That might not have made sense. I really need to get this one back out. I really like this. This is going to take me for forever, but it's a beautiful stitch. I really, really, really like it. Okay. The next one, this is Country Cottage Needleworks, The Nativity. I'm not 100% sold on the fabric that I picked to do this on, but I'm also not going to change it because at the same time, while I'm not sold, I still really like it. So this is on a piece of Picture This Plus 14 count Crystal Majestic, and he's a sparkly little David. But this stitch actually goes by pretty fast, and it's really, really cute. I just need to get this back out. But again, this will definitely probably come out around Thanksgiving, into December, so that way I can get this one done, because I don't think it's going to take me that long once I really get going on it. And it has some really like pretty bright colorful colors in it, so I really actually love that stitch. Okay, let's do this one. This is another one I'll show you. It's an Emma Congdon digital pattern from Stitch Roby on Etsy. It's another giant, the Great British Sampler. And it has all these like motifs, but these are like bigger motifs and like more full coverage motifs. I don't want to get rid of this one, but it is literally going to take me for forever. I just need to work on it. That's what I'm going to say about all of these. I love them all. I just need to work on them. But this is an 18 count Picture This Plus Brash. And this is sadly how far I am. But those colors pop on there. They just look amazing. I need to get this back out again, just like the other one. I just need to like work on it a little bit every month or something. Some of these really big ones, I just need to incorporate them in my rotation just to touch them a little bit every month. I mean, that's honestly what, that's just what I need to do. Okay. I'm kind of picking them at random now because there's not many left. Okay, so I don't love this, but I'm also not going to get rid of it. And that sounds really silly and sounds kind of dumb in the grand scheme of things. But I finished the Halloween one and I finished the other Christmas version of this. So I kind of feel silly to not finish this one and make it into a pillow like the others, if that makes any more sense. But, and also I'm so close to, I mean, well, not so close. I have the entire border, like lace border, but I'm kind of close to finishing this. This is a Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. I had to think for a minute. I totally blanked on that. This is a Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, the 12 Days of Christmas. I have a number left here. I have a little bit left in these guys. And then pretty much, I have the little music notes, but then I just have the border. This is on a crystal, I want to say this is crystal doubloon, maybe? I don't know. I didn't used to keep the little tags back in the day. But I started this whenever it came out. I just need to suck it up and finish this. I just need to suck it up and finish it. So it'll probably be a lunch stitch in like November and December. Just to get it done and out of life. This is another Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, but this one I actually really like. That sounds really horrible. I like that one. I'm just tired of working on it. I would love it more if it was done. So I honestly just need to whip it out, is what I need to do. This one, I'm mad at myself for where I placed it because I have so much fabric left over, and this fabric is gorgeous. So I am going to have like a chunk at the top and a chunk at the bottom for like some smaller things. But I could have like put this like out either the top or the bottom and had like a bigger chunk, you know? But that's okay. We live and we learn. But this was last year's Frosted Pumpkin Halloween Stitch Along thing. And there was like 2 or 3 weeks of it. Or not 2 or 3 weeks, but like 2 or 3 like releases. And I also bought the wooden hanger from Needle Run Throughs It for it. So I don't think I'm going to finish it exactly how they finished theirs, but I do have the hanger to finish it as a hanger, obviously. I do really like this one. I do want to work on this one. It's really fun. It's super cute. It's a fun stitch, honestly. It's a fun stitch. So I just need to work on that. Like all the other Halloween ones. I keep saying that, but it's so true. I need to take some out of this one. I've added too many Halloween ones to the first bucket because I apparently have a theme that I like Halloween stitches. And they take up, they're a big percentage of my WIPs, I think. I don't know, somebody calculate that. Okay. We're down to the wire though, which is great. So another one of my WIPs that kind of disappointed me. I'm going to finish this, but I got discouraged because I need to rework it a little bit because I am not restarting her. I like her on this color fabric, but something went wonky and I calculated this piece of fabric and I don't know. Somehow I got over like by about 5 or 6 stitches from the center, I guess, whenever I first started her. And so I've got to do a little reworking because I am not going to finish her into like a pillow or anything. so I don't need a lot of wiggle room with how I want to finish her. So I'm not really worried about that, but I need like 5 or 6 more stitches on this end, and I don't know what I did. I don't know what I did. I'm mad at myself. It's fine. But I do have to figure out some version of a reworking on this side a little bit. But I do want to get her back out. But this is Barbara Anna's I Give You My Heart. This is actually on a piece of 18 count Picture This Plus Haunted that I coffee and tea dyed, and it turned it this really creepy green color. I love it. And I'm stitching this entirely with Victorian Motto sampler threads that I got from Tiffany. Okay, let's do this bag, because I don't remember what's in this. This is another Emily bag. I, for some reason, only buy her Halloween bags. Ah, yes, yes, yes. Okay, so this is my other birthday stitch that I want to start and hopefully finish on Picture This Plus Legacy. This is for Feast of Friendship by Blackbird Designs. So, if you don't know what that one looks like, it's this one. And I'm going to have this changed to say, Welcome Friends. But yeah. I don't think that's going to get finished in the month of my birthday because that's a big house. But anyways, but there is another WIP in here also on the other half of Legacy. And this is Pictures Plus. Yeah, it's on Pictures Plus Legacy. What is wrong with me? I need water. I need to be hydrated. This is Plum Street Samplers, Mrs. Bingley's Library. And I made, instead of a little bird, I made it a cat. I made it a Potter. I changed the flag instead of a British one to a Texas flag, which is really cool. I had to like oversize it a little bit so that way I could make the star and make it look kind of proportioned. I'm shrinking the house some by a level, so it's not going to be as massively big as it is charted to be. But I need to get this one back out. I keep forgetting about it. And yes, I do quite frequently, whenever I think I'm going to get something back out, sooner than sometimes I do leave them on hoops. Which is why I'm always baffled why I can't find my hoops. But now that I know where some of them are living, I might go and steal them off of these WIPs. Something that I didn't want to do in this video because that would take even more time than me just rambling. So again, this is why I don't like to leave originals in my kits. This is what happens. I do have a working copy of this. This is Sewing Cats. I started this with Adele and a whole bunch of people. And a whole bunch of people have already finished this because I got the brilliant idea that I wanted to customize some of the cats. And I no longer want to do that. I want to stitch it as is, and that's just the way it's going to be. And so I cannot wait to get this one back out. I absolutely loved working on this. This is one of the cutest stitches ever. And yes, I did give him a little booty hole. I've seen several people give him a little booty hole, but I feel like I was the first one to post about it. That's not like a go me. I just think I was. I'm not really sure, but several people have done this. If you do this pattern, give him a booty hole. Because it looks weird with him not having one. Anyways, that was more what that was, a PSA to give the cat a bum hole, not look at me, I created that, but whatever. Anyways, I digress. This is a 18 count? It's either 18 count or a 16 count. I want to say it's 18 because this piece is big. And I didn't think this piece was going to hold this pattern, to be quite honest. But I'm like barely going to make it. But I kind of like water wash tie-dyed this myself. I don't remember how I dyed this fabric, but I absolutely love how it came out. But I water wash tie-dyed it, whatever that means to you. And yes, Savannah, I do know you still want this whenever I'm done. I promise, it's gonna happen. I would love for that to be a 2020 finish. I would love that. That would be great. Okay, this over here, this has all of my kitted up hands-on designs like around the holidays. So, but nothing in there is currently a WIP. So, I have 2 left. Can you imagine? Okay. I don't know how I feel about this one. I want to finish it because it's really cute, but I have no clue what I'll do with it if I finish it. So I'm going to keep it for now as like a maybe. I have a 1/4 of it done, and it's honestly, it's super cute. I don't know what I would do though with it. This is a Frosted Pumpkin National Parks. It's on the called for earthen. I mean, look at that little buffalo. That's honestly, I think, the reason why it breaks my heart is because that buffalo is so freaking cute. And if I just had that buffalo stitched, I would make him like a little like something. But because I have so much, like, I'm not going to pick all that out. But I have a 1/4 of this done. I have a 1/4 of this done. I just don't know how I would finish this. I don't know. Heather, how could we finish this? I don't know. I'm going to leave this. I'm going to leave this as a WIP. And maybe I'll come back to it. All right. The final one, which I did not do on purpose, but I know that it's going. I know what it is. So, one of my friends that I used to work with at Hastings, which is a video store that used to be all over the country, so most likely you've heard of it. It went out of business, but I used to work there 10 years ago, and Corinne, one of my friends, also used to work there, and she is also a crafter. She does like sewing. She makes the gorgeous Christmas stockings with like the 3D like Santas and the sequins and all that. Kind of like how my mom did whenever, like before I was born, she did that kind of stuff. And like my stocking is actually needle pointed. It's so beautiful that my mom did. Anyways, I digress. I got Corinne a couple years ago into cross stitching, and she's cross stitched a couple of patterns. She absolutely loves the Frosted Pumpkin patterns. She's bought several of them and hasn't stitched very many of them. And she has several little kiddos, and they're adorable. And her daughters are all about the princesses. Well, she has 2 daughters. One is a baby, but I guarantee it's going to be all about the princesses. But her older daughter is all about the princesses and all about the Disney and all of that kind of stuff. And Corinne was like the book manager at one point in time, so they're very much like a reading family. And so whenever I was thinking about doing the Ditch the Stitch, my WIP clean out, which obviously I didn't clean out a whole lot, but you know, something is better than nothing. I thought about this pattern and I absolutely love it, but I also absolutely do not want to finish it. I have no desire, and it's the part 3. So there's Once Upon a Time, which was my first ever Sal, and whenever I first ever discovered that there was these online pattern sellers and you didn't have to buy something as a kit from Hobby Lobby, and I dyed my own fabric because I didn't know that that was an option. I don't know how, but I didn't. And that was in 2014, and then I did this Storytime Classics a couple years later, and then I started this one, and I do have one more. Squirrel. And I got into it because I loved the border. The border is the most beautiful border that the Frosted Pumpkin has ever created. Truly. I'm not kidding. But Corinne went on kind of like a Frosted Pumpkin like binge spree where she bought a lot of patterns, but she hasn't started them yet because she's working on a stocking, a Christmas stocking for her newest baby, the newest little girl. And so I knew that I was going to be doing this, and I said, hey, did you buy that one? And she said, yes. And I said, do you want mine half finished? Cost of, you have to buy the pattern yourself, which she had already done. So I am going to gift this, plus the other 2 that are finished, but not FFO'd, to my friend. So that way she can finish stitching this with her copy of it and her threads, because I told her if there were any over dyes, I would give those to her, but there aren't. So she's going to buy her own threads, and it's going to be 50% done for her. And she's going to have the other 2 in the series, so then she doesn't have to stitch those herself, and then she can finish them for the girls' room, which I don't have kids. If I ever do, I'll probably want to restart them, and I'll probably want to do what I did with my Sunshine Trio and do them all in the same fabric, because these are not on the same fabric. They aren't even all on the same count of fabric, and they aren't all the same. It's just, that's just too much for my OCD personally, but she loves the concept, which is fantastic. So this is going to a really fantastic home, along with 2 of my FOs from back in the day, and they're going to be very well loved by some little girls who I am friends with. So I'm not mad about that. This one's going to a great home. Corinne's going to finish that, and it's going to be beautiful. And I think she's going to have them all like framed the same, and it's going to look really cute in the girls' room. So anyways, this one is definitely going, and it clears out an actual project bag, another one from H Cats Crafts, which is little pandas. So I'm really excited about clearing that out. And finally, I thought that was the last one, and I totally skipped over my coolest one yet. Just kidding. I am not going to take my pile of threads off of this fabric because I have them separated for a reason, but this is my giant Harry Potter. So ignore the pile of threads, but this is my giant Harry Potter. Hello. I'll use my head to show you. Okay, this is on an 18 count piece of Ada that I bought, and I dyed with like purples and pinks and bleach of all things. And I absolutely love this, and I honestly, I started at the same time as Davina, and she like went ham on hers, and hers has been finished for years. Like hers has been finished since 2015 whenever we started the damn thing, and I'm still only halfway done. So, wow, my land tub. That was a lot, guys. Editing Kelli here. I missed one. I missed one, and I don't know how, but I did. So I'm gonna shove it in at the end. But this is a piece of fabrics by LJ Lavender Skies 18 count. And I created a border for these. This is a Satsuma Street. This is a Zodiacs, and I wanted to do all of the Zodiacs. Now, I've debated this piece for a really, really long time because I don't know. I was trying to do it as all one piece. I created this border for it, and like the border itself is like 20 pages. I mean, like, this is insane of like how many pages this pattern became because I wanted to create this border and put them all on the same thing. Now, let me just say, I calculated this so many times. I don't know how I thought that 6 were gonna fit across times 2. How? I don't know. I'm probably an insane person. But luckily I only have Capricorn done. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. I'm not gonna pick this out, but I honestly don't know what I'm gonna do with this. That I know of, I don't know any Capricorns. I probably know several Capricorns. Actually, I know Capricorns, but that will appreciate this. I don't know any Capricorns. So clearly I need to use this fabric for something else. And I still really want to stitch the Satsuma Street Zodiacs, but it looks like I'm gonna have to do them again, and I don't know if I'm gonna make them all one piece this time. I think I want to do them on the same fabric and maybe make them like ornaments or something. But yeah, I don't want them all on one piece now. I mean, I would love it, but I mean, I loved this border. It was very Art Deco of me, but yeah. I've got to figure out what to do with this Capricorn. And then, yeah, so this one's also leaving the WIP list for now. I do want to stitch the Zodiacs by Satsuma Street, but this fabric is going to get put back in stash. I mean, this section of the fabric is not going to get put back in stash, but the rest of it is going to get put back in stash. And, I'll eventually do the Zodiacs again in a different way, because I don't know how I miscalculated that. I spent so much time calculating that. I just don't even understand. I don't know how. So anyways, okay. Sorry guys, that was editing me, and I discovered that, so I had to pop it in. I don't feel super successful, only because like I feel like getting rid of like a lot of them would make me super successful at a ditch the stitch, but I did get rid of some, and I want to restart some in a better way that I like more and will make me want to work on them. And I'm gifting one to someone who's really going to want to finish it and appreciate it, and already bought the damn pattern but didn't ever buy the fabric or the threads for it. So there you go. So that feels really good, because those are going to be very loved, like I've already said. But the other good thing about doing a ditch the stitch, whether you ditch half of your projects or 2 of your projects, you get to touch everything. You're doing also a WIP parade at the same time. You're talking about why you loved the patterns that you picked and why you picked the fabric that you picked and that kind of stuff. And so you remember why you loved that piece. And so hopefully it sparks, you know, this, I should really work on that and try and get that done, because it's beautiful and I should try and get that done. But I think that's it for this video. I know it's really long, but thank you for sticking it out with me, and having these conversations with me that were one-sided, but definitely I know as we go along, you're talking to me, and you can leave those conversations in the comments down below. But let me know, if you're gonna do a ditch the stitch, and, or which one out of the ones that I kept are you most excited to see me finish? Because that would be fun to know. But yeah, I think that's about it. I have lots of plans. We'll see how that goes. And I have so many patterns behind me to also start. Some of these are also obviously in these bags that we went through today. So eventually they'll get finished. But, yeah, there's always something to work on, always something to finish, and always something to start. So we'll see what happens. But thank you for joining me, and I hope that y'all have a fantastic stitching week, and I will see y'all next time. Bye, guys.